But you come in with a verse where you say, I got a couple of mansions, but I still don't have any manners. You got a couple of ghostwriters, but to these kids, it don't actually matter. What the fuck happened to hip hop? What's going on with hip hop? People took that line and thought you were indirectly talking about Drake.
No, see, here's the thing. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Drake is always going to be in my good graces because he did something for one of my daughters that I will never forget, and he will always be in my graces with that. And I like Drake. Mm-hmm. What I'm telling you with these lines is, I don't know what's real and what's not at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear shit about this rapper, that rapper, whatever. I'm telling you that I don't do it, never have, and never will. If I ever need a ghostwriter, I need to just fucking put the mic down. You know what I'm saying? So that's my personal belief. As far as anybody out here that does use ghostwriters, that's fine. If that's what you do, that's fine. But I'm telling you, I don't do it. Hip hop was the most important thing that empowered me as a kid. It made me feel, I have a line where I say it made me feel tough when I wasn't.
Yeah.
When I was a scrawny little kid, growing up on 8 Mile, walking up the fucking block, put headphones on, and it made me feel powerful. Hip hop probably was, I mean, it was like my dad, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And it was the only thing that made me empowered. It made me feel good about myself. And when I started being able to write rhymes and figured out I could do it, that's where the feeling comes from to me. Because the excitement is being able to come up with the shit. You know what I'm saying? It taught me how to throw my first punch. Gave me the confidence to be able to throw my first punch. And to realize, not only that, the fact that Proof used to beat my ass all the time in the backyard boxing. And one time he beat me like literally to the fucking ground. And he was just like, just stop. Because I kept getting up, coming at him, but I'm like, but I just kept getting beat up. He was fast, man. He was very quick. And but it made me realize, like, okay, taking a punch is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. Your fear when you're a kid is like, oh my God, if I get hit, what if they hit me in the nose and it jams my nose in my brain and I die? Like, kind of shit you think about. But nah, man, hip hop, like since its beginning, I was always under the impression that every rapper wrote their rhymes, and
I think in all fairness though, I think Drake is a superior writer to be able to sustain the level of success he has.
Yeah, I mean, he makes great music. There's not really even much you can say about it, you know. On this Kamikaze album, I feel like I was pretty direct at who I was kind of taking shots at and going at, and who I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't send subliminals to Drake there'd be no reason for me to do that. But I am expressing to you that regardless of what any of these other dudes do, I have never, not even a line, not even anything. I wouldn't be able to have fun with it if I couldn't write it.
That makes sense. You go in really hard about the Grammys in a way, man, you drag the Grammys in the mud when you talk about, you have a few Grammys, but you feel like you had to sell your soul to get them. And you didn't know if you wanted it for the recognition or the trophies, but then what's the difference? You know, and that Grammys pretty much suck the blood of artists and nominate them, have them come to the shows. And
which they do. They do it every fucking year, yeah. And I'm just tired of seeing it. And for whatever reason, it's like they're always pitching this hint that you might win Album of the Year, which used to be a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal now. You know, sat at home this year for the Grammys and watched Jay and Kendrick not get it. And I felt like one of them should have got it. I felt like Joyner Lucas should have won a Grammy for I'm Not Racist. Yeah. Absolutely should have won a fucking Grammy. Every year we went, it was, I would be up for Album of the Year, and then the winner is Norah Jones. Who? And I'm not even trying to say anything bad about her music. I just, at that point, I had never heard of her. Yeah. And none of my friends did either. You know what I'm saying? So we were like, okay, whatever. And then Steely Dan. Okay, I know who Steely Dan is. I know Steely Dan back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But more than the Marshall Mathers LP impact, like, okay, fine. I watched 50, same shit. 50 did not win Best New Artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than 50.
Nothing bigger, and nobody since maybe like Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. And then I get up there another year, and what was it, the Eminem show? And it was like, whatever, I'm fine if I lose to fucking Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't fucking get us all here to use your selling point for your fucking show and stiff everybody every single fucking time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to fucking come here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I fucking go to the Grammys.
Well, now, you know, I know Jimmy Jam and some of the members of the board there are reaching out. Just Blaze and different folks are now trying to make it better. Would you ever consider, you know, joining the board and maybe you have a vote in it?
First of all, that vote is fake as fuck. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings, the fucking, oh, this got critical acclaim, but it sold 2 records. Like, it ain't about always what you sell. I get that, Vanilla Ice, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there comes a point where when an overwhelming something comes along that has this wave and impact on music, and you give it to fucking Lada fucking Dottie. Who? Lada Dottie. It's not like Lottie Dottie. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they're so fucking tone deaf to what is actually going on, but they're not in a sense of, oh, we're gonna get Beyonce here, we're gonna get Jay here, we can say all these names are gonna be here and we'll make them think. I guarantee you that the people from the Grammys was on the phone with Beyonce's people or Jay-Z's people saying every year that they're up for something, hinting they're gonna win to get them to come there.
So you over that?
I fucking guarantee you.
You over that. I guess I won't see you at the Grammys this year.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not? Okay. Yeah. What if you're nominated?
First of all, I won't be.
Okay.
Because they know that I don't like them. And if I was, I wouldn't win because they know that I don't like them.
One final question. I want to ask you about a song that, to me, man, it was probably one of the most heart-wrenching songs on the project was Stepping Stone. You know, and you tell the history of D12, how it started, you know, and what happened through the duration, and at the end of it, you said it's over. That's it. Were the members aware of that song?
They were.
They were?
They were. They got a heads up, and, you know, I explained. I honestly have not talked to Swift and Conniver yet. About the song. They just knew it was coming down the pipe. But the way I explain it is this. Proof was the glue that binded us all together, right? He did so much shit behind the scenes that I didn't even realize, and did things to keep us a group and to motivate us.
You mentioned that you guys knew all this stuff was happening, but y'all never talked about it. You know, you were men, you know, I'm paraphrasing in the verses, but everybody was doing their solo projects, and, you know, y'all was drifting further apart.
Well, that's what ended up happening, was everybody was kind of doing their solo things, made solo projects, mixtapes and things like that, and we're doing shows. And I think the conversation now going forward is to see if there's anything we can do to help their solo careers. You know, and we'll always be friends, man. We always been friends. So we were kids, you know what I'm saying? So we'll always be good on that aspect, you know? And I want to help them do whatever it is that their next thing is on the agenda. You know what I'm saying? Mixtape, album, shopping, whatever it is.
When I listen to these stories and Dre's all over this project?
Dre's input is
Okay.
all over it, for sure. He felt like me and him had a couple discussions about the last album, and one of the things that he said to me was, like, he hit me up one day, he was like, yo, I don't like how motherfuckers are talking about your album. And he had heard Revival, right?
Yeah.
Him and Jimmy Iovine had sat in there and listened to most of the songs I had done at Rick Rubin's studio. And based off that reaction, I think Dre was a little confused too when that happened with Revival. Probably not more so than me, but we had a conversation earlier in the year, and I think I had only had one song by that time. This was like January.
Yeah.
I had the one song and was thinking about releasing it, and then wrote another song. When I got back to Detroit, recorded it. Like, okay, now I got two songs. I might as well do a fucking album. And that's kind of how that came about. But Dre also, there's a couple songs that he kind of deaded them just because he didn't have a good reaction to them, and he also felt like one of them was going a little far.
A song?
Hey, man.
What does that mean? Like, how far did it go?
It definitely went too far.
When you say go too far, I feel like Kamikaze was the place where if you were ever going to go so-called too far, this is where it would be. You did the BET verse for the rap cipher, and in it, you covered a lot of content that was relevant to the world we live in today that some folks want to sweep under the rug. And this is so when you did that verse, why you felt a need to stand up though? What was that for you as Marshall? What made you decide?
Because I was just watching it every single day. I watch a lot of news, right?
Yeah.
The thing that pissed me off the most, that really set me off when I started going crazy with the pen, because I'm like, the Kaepernick thing. And when that shit happened and how he kept changing the narrative and kept changing the narrative. You fucking, I can't, I don't want to get into this whole Trump thing anymore, but.
Well, you mentioned at the end of the ringer, Agent Orange sending a Secret Service to your house. Did the Secret Service really come to your house after that?
They came to my studio, yeah.
Okay.
And they were just basically asking me questions about my lyrics to see what the intent was behind them, and if I was making a actual threat or just expressing myself, So
that really happened. Wow, that's crazy. Right now, what we're seeing too, because Colin Kaepernick was named.
If I ever need a ghostwriter, I need to just fucking put the mic down.
Congratulations, brother.
Absolutely, thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.